Hello, everybody. Sorry we're half an hour late. You want to know why? I forgot to press the record button. So, David, I apologize. Welcome. Fine host I turned out to be. Welcome to the second episode of the Dugout Crew podcast. I am filling in for David St. Dennis because he's at the game right now of the opening day. The Red Sox battling the Orioles, and the Red Sox are losing big time, 10-4 at the bottom of the seventh inning. Damn. So
that's a shocker and a holy cow.
Yeah. If David's bad day is not bad enough, and now he puts me on me to host the show, and what we're doing the podcast. Like I forgot to press record. Oh my god!
Gonna put you on blast. He's gonna say, you were a bad host. You didn't do me justice. Now I'm going to kick your butt.
He'd be like, you didn't do what I told you to do, so now I have to put you in timeout for 5,000 years.
I do apologize.
He's gonna watch this. He's gonna watch this
whole thing, and he's gonna be like, I don't understand.
Oh, actually, that reminds me.
I'll be working on Rate and Rave about this tonight. Trust me.
Yeah, you'll never let up. They'll never let up.
Oh man, I was like, I could not believe that. There was so many things that went wrong. It's like I think my mind's.
Thank God it's only the second show of this whole thing. You know, it's not like we're like.
What a way to start out the second show, you know.
Yeah, well, like 175 games in already. You know, this is like the first. This is, you know,
it'll be just you for next week because my boss decided. Hey, you like working Thursdays, don't you? And my job starts at 1 p.m. on Thursday. Right at start time, so I won't be here next week.
Yeah, let David know.
Joy.
So I do apologize, everyone out there. David, if you're watching this, I do apologize. I'm just
Well, Joey, for that sake, you might want to just get the preview of the next two series in before next week.
Yeah. Well, I'm working on the Angels right now because I was right when he said that we weren't recording. I didn't have the injury report listed, and unfortunately, the Red Sox would like to announce that Eric Lima is going to this disabled list with a concussion. It's just like, what happened? Oh, well, he was sitting in the dugout and there was a foul ball.
I'll tell you what, the next time I got to come up.
Paying attention, I got knocked out.
I'll tell you, I'll come up with a great question for Blockbusters next week. What forgot to press the record button on the dugout crew of episode 2? Eric Lima! Yes! Right!
5,000 points.
5,000 points. You didn't have to go to the goal run, man. It's just that's it.
Oh, Jesus.
Put that on your own question for Bullseye next week, Eric.
Okay.
Bullseye was just oh man. Between me hosting Bullseye last night and this situation, I don't know. I had a lot. Hey,
popcorn in your teeth.
My recording of Press Your Luck because the Banks version that I had, I actually won that version, but I didn't post it. I didn't post it.
Oh my god!
Player 2 beat me. He had over almost $300,000 won on the Banks.
Oh my god!
Well, okay. At least the Red Sox aren't having a bad a day as you and David, Eric.
He's right about that.
At least we can sit back and laugh about it because it was pretty funny. I'm sure David's going to roast me for it. I'll explain to him that I did not realize I forgot to press the record button. I thought I did it.
And I noticed it. I didn't see the live timer up in the corner of the thing. I'm thinking, is this something new for StreamYard?
It always shows
I noticed it before you did. So I was like,
no, it's supposed to show for everybody who's on it, actually. Yeah. And
well, I've got time. I have a doctor's appointment in about 2 hours, but I got time. So,
all right. Okay, let's get going. That's why I was trying to limit this to an hour at least, so that way, you know, because if any of us have something to do, and I told David this, so that's fine.
Okay.
All right, let's go with I'm going to go with the news, the baseball news from all over baseball that David has given me here. We're going to start off with the injuries. Adam Wainwright headed to the IL with a groin injury. Rhys Hoskins, a power hitter for the Phillies, suffered a torn ACL. He's going to be out for a long time. obviously possibly for the season, which I feel bad because he was a major player for the Phillies, and that led him to the World Series. But even though they didn't win, Joey Votto had a 14-year opening day streak, and it will be snapped because he'll begin the season on the IL. And like you said, hurt pride. Who knows for sure? Which is really, really funny. Guardians Tristan McKenzie has a strain on his right teres major muscle. Back-to-back shoulder will be shut down from throwing for 2+ weeks. So that he can be a major key for either the bullpen or the rotation in terms of where he is. Justin Verlander for the Mets, IL due to low-grade trees major strain. What do you do? Have sex with his wife before opening day? You look at Kate Upton, you probably want to make love to her. Anyway.
Yeah, the bad night last night in bed. Had woke up from that dream falling off of his night table, probably.
Yeah.
Told him not to take that last tranquilizer before bed. He's your buddy up there, in Houston. What happened? You took over a guy who literally has a problem with his caress? What the heck is
Oh my god.
Okay. And some news on White Sox closer Liam Hendricks making encouraging process in the battle with cancer, and the Sox are hopeful he can return before June. That's why the White Sox general manager Rick Hahn did not place him on the 60-day IL for that reason. So, I'm hoping he comes back and makes. I know Trey Mancini was fighting cancer before. He beat it. He came back. So I'm hoping that Liam Hendricks does the same thing. So I know the White Sox have been without a closer quite a while, so we shall see. Roster moves. Congratulations to top prospect for the Cardinals, Jordan Walker. He's made an opening day roster, as well as the Yankees, Anthony Volpe. So Volpe. So congratulations to both of those guys. And let's go with the signings of what's been going on. Let's go to signings. Now, the Guardians finalized a 7-year contract extension to Andres Gimenez. I don't know if he's a pitcher or an outfielder. I don't know for sure.
Shortstop / second base.
Okay, the infielder then. So Guardians infielder and Andres Gimenez. Thank you, Joey. You're a great addition to this thing. 7-year extension, so he must be very, very good for the Cleveland to give him that much. But there was nobody's going to. Aaron Nola failed to reach in a contract extension to set to become an unrestricted free agent for the 2023 season. So he's going to be a free agent. So we'll see what happens there. Miles McCullough signed a contract 2 years for $40 million with the Cardinals through 2025. So he'll be around with the team for a while. Luke Voigt, former Yankee, signed a 1-year deal with the Brewers for a club option of 2024. Cubs signed Nico Horner for a 3-year Cubs contract extension for the Cubs. That's so excellent for that. Let's see what else. As far as signings and money, a deal has been placed between the minor league players in the MLBA and MLB on the first historic collective bargaining agreement. Deal is for 5 years and includes at least 2 times at all levels of the minors. Details complex league from $4,800 per year to $19,800. Low A, $11,000 per year to $26,200. High A, $11,000 per year to $27,300. Double A, $13,800 per year to $30,250. And finally, in Triple A, $17,500 per year to $35,800. So the minor leaguers getting paid, getting paid pretty much the whole deal. Yeah, sometimes that can be itchy. Alrighty then. Let's see. Other baseball news outside the Marlins. Speaking of the Marlins, I know we were talking about the Marlins before the show went on the air, or supposedly the show while the show went on the air, but we didn't. Marlins will be wearing their 93 throwback uniforms during Friday home games. That's
someone get Charlie Huff out there. He could throw a few more knuckleballs, can he?
I think he's dead.
No, he's alive.
Still
but-
alive? The man's still
Yeah,
alive? Dang.
he was 45 when he pitched for the Marlins 30 years ago.
Oh,
Funnily enough, he was their opening day starter
so he's
in
75.
1993. He'd be 76 this year, I think.
Wow.
I think. Did I go with Adam Wainwright?
Yes, you did.
I did. Okay, good.
Yeah, you said
so
something in the beginning.
Yeah, because that did me main key for the Cardinals. Alrighty then. All right. Also, the Major League Baseball announced 6 teams will wear the Connect City uniforms. The Braves on April 8th, the Rangers on April 21st, the Mariners on May 5th, the Reds on May 19th. No Kane jokes from all the wrestling fans out there.
Choke slam!
He comes on May 19th. Oh, I'll never Shawn Michaels pulling that practical joke on Rob Conway. That was hilarious. The Orioles on May, who are our opponents right now, on May 26th. The Pirates on June 27th. So, so that's going to be interesting. Mike Trout will team up with Tiger Woods to build a New Jersey golf course on a gold course. How do you build a gold course? David in his spelling. Golf course for 2025. So I'll tell you, Mike Trout, one of the most beloved players of the Angels. Giants sent Sergio Romo off to retirement for one final relief appearance against the A's. And on that day, Romo had everyone who asked for his autograph, they signed his hat first. Oh, that's really nice. Imagine signing well wishes to Sergio on his hat. Pretty cool. We have spring training champions. Angels for Cactus, spring training champions. The Cardinals are the Grapefruit League champions. Yay.
I wonder what they get for being champions of these non-sanctioned games.
A cactus and a grapefruit.
or a cactus dressed, decorated as a Christmas tree or something like that.
Let's get some of that cactus juice, baby.
That's how they celebrate the holidays. It's just like, honey, I can't find a tree. We're in the middle of the desert. Go dress up the cactus.
Yeah, and put some dead scorpions on it,
And then we'll serve grapefruit juice and pink grapefruit juice cocktail,
Well,
that's what you drink in the desert.
with grapefruit juice to chase it. Yep.
Congrats. Cardinals and they had the best records in their respective leagues. The Red Sox, speaking of the Red Sox, they're opening up their new clubhouse, and from what I see, is a brand new clubhouse. Hopefully, that will help the Red Sox, feel better and be better.
Without the beer and the fried chicken.
Oh my God! I'll never forget that. Josh Beckett and all of them. 2000
Unlucky Josh Beckett. I'm sure they said Schilling in there too, but it's just like, get your bloody sock out of here. That's unhealthy.
You ever had bear? Tastes just like chicken.
A beer, bear?
Bear. It was on an old Roy Rogers commercial, man.
I love it. Okay, I'll see. I've gone through everything except one more. Okay, craziest ejection. Real Muto. Randy Rosenberg, the umpire, who's probably the most sensitive umpire that we've ever seen since and probably the dumbest since Angel Hernandez. Here's how the situation had happened: is the spring training game, Phillies against the Blue Jays. Craig Kimbrell was on the mound. I'm surprised he signed with Philly, so they probably needed a closer. So, anyways, Craig Kimbrell got called out on a pitch clock violation, a ball. So he looked at the ball that he had, didn't like it, so he asked for another one. Throws him another one. But JT Realmuto did not notice this. So he basically hold his glove and says, I need another ball up. But then he did not realize that the ump already tossed the ball to Kimbrell. And so when he noticed that Kimbrell had the ball, he decided, okay. Now, as he was putting his glove down, the umpire was about to throw it into his glove. Umpire missed after he moved the glove up. And the umpire, Randy Rosenberg, thought that Realmuto was showing him up and basically ejected him from the ball game. Realmuto was trying to explain. Hey, I was
wow.
Wow.
So,
Reminds me of that incident with Tim Duncan when he was laughing and Joey Crawford.
oh yeah, we were about to, because I know Joey. Before when the show went on the air, you mentioned about one of the NBA referees being oversensitive.
Scott Foster.
Score alert! Score alert!
Okay, what's the score?
Mets up 1-0 right now. Top of the third. Yes, sirree.
All right, good.
Oh boy,
Good for the
that
Mets.
was. I'm gonna use my water bottle as a bell here to anytime a score alert happens.
Oh,
Well, I know one thing for sure. Don't tell Eric the score of the Red Sox game because Rushman is
He's watching it.
I'm watching it.
Rushman is 4 for 4 with a run scored and 4 runs driven in today.
Rushman. That's one
Somewhere at Fenway, David is crying.
Yeah.
Wish you losing.
It's not even the Boston Tea Party at that point. It's just the saltiness of the tears that flood the field.
I could just see him saying, "I don't know why I went to the game in the first place. I should have just stayed on home in bed."
See, I could have gone to the game today in Oakland, but again, I rather cry at home than cry in front of thousands of grown men. It's just like, kid, why are you crying? It's just like, Shohei's making us look like crap.
Base hit. Well, Yoshida's been doing pretty good. A couple of hits.
Well, he's got quite the expectations to live up to, doesn't he?
Definitely put him in the cleanup. They put him in the cleanup spot.
That's the Ortiz and Ramirez role. As Stremski, too.
Yeah, you talk about the Japanese poppy, is what you want to call him? I don't know. Well, hopefully,
he's got to gain another 15 pounds and have a beard, but okay.
But I'll tell you what, the guy knows how to hit. So he hit 21 home runs last year for his team in Japan. So I know he's not a 30, 40 homer guy. He's been, maybe they're trying something different. Usually power hitters like you put them in 3 or 4 in the lineup, and they're probably going to try if they think they would walk Devers, hit him more. So the Realmuto situation. Going back to that. I gotta tell you, Rosenberg was oversensitive at that point, but it was a little miscommunication, But umpire couldn't take back the ejection now if he wanted to, And it reminds me of the Jerry Davis, Adrian Beltre situation on deck circle,
Yeah,
All he did was nonchalantly move it. He just moved it, and I think Jerry Davis doesn't have a sense of humor, or just like does not mean showing up. So. Oh, they're going to the bases loaded already.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait a minute. Adam Duvall got hit by a pitch. And I found that's the problem. I think, okay. Duvall's okay. Okay, good. I think Adam Duvall got hit by a pitch. Boom. On the elbow. Anyways, so, yeah. It just boggles my mind that umps. No wonder why everybody wants robot umps.
I don't know.
The purpose the pitch clock is too? I blame the umps because the umps are probably want to get in a hurry to go home.
Yeah.
And they're making stupid calls. Remember? Oh, yeah. We're talking about sensitive umps. Remember that ump in college that called a strike down here because the batters, thought the batter was showing them up? Oh, my gosh. And here's the crazy
umpire needs to be reevaluated. That's exactly what needs to happen.
If you're losing your sight by the time you're in your 50s and you're still umping, I think it's time to hang it up.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Because they ring people up too much.
Yeah.
Score alert. The Red Sox scored another run, 10-5. Hopefully, bottom of the 8th, though. They're running out of time.
Score alert. Oh. Yep. There we go.
All right.
I was going to say, it makes me think you're more of a Pirates fan than a Mets fan if you're ringing the bell.
Yeah, but I got nothing else for sound effects right now.
Yeah, so
I have a little clacker, but I'd rather not damage other people's eardrums.
Oh, it's that high pitched?
No, it's one of those where it's just like clack, 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 clack.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those little plastic clackers.
All right, so that's all for the news for what David has given me. And from the three of you, let's start with some news from each of your teams. Jason, we'll start with you with your Mets. Besides the scoring going on in the game, what is up? And what is up with those Mets? What's happening?
First of all, I'd like to say a big hello, New York Mets 2023. We are here. And of course, as you know, what happens? Justin Verlander on the injured list. Not even pitching yet. Supposed to pitch on Saturday. Tears his teres. What the heck is a teres?
I don't know.
It's a car, it sounds like.
Oh, another base hit. Another base hit. Let's go, Boston. Let's go, Boston. Another run in. Slowly but surely. I like that. Oh,
Yeah.
Another run in. Wait, another run in? Hey, we'll take it.
Oh, it's a low-grade strain in the upper arm. Okay. That's to be specific, it's a strain in the upper arm. So more or less right up in here, I guess.
Oh, so he must have been pitching then instead of
who knows? But I mean, he's now on the injured list. He's day to day, and so Tyler McGill and David Peterson will be in rotation. So they've got the starts for probably Saturday and Sunday. And I tell you, I look at it this way: you lose Diaz, you lose also Quintara as well. He's out for the season. Possibly. Who knows? He might be coming back, but we don't know that. And so all this money spent, $36 million.
Oh, boy.
I mean, don't feel too bad. DeGrom's getting lit up in Texas right now by the Phillies.
And maybe it's time for that weasel to finally realize that he should have never left New York. Now he goes to Texas and decides, I think I can just finish out my career in Texas. I'm going to be a trader to the New York Mets. Good. Yeah, well, thanks for the update on that he's getting lit up.
Yeah, it's 4-0. He's got a runner on third base. His ERA is 15.43. He's given up 4 runs on 5 hits.
I don't think any of us Mets fans feel bad that the son of a gun left.
Eric, it's a 3-run ball game, so we might be seeing Eric running through his house.
It's true. He's got life. He's got life.
I got a response from David when I told him I forgot to press record. He said, "It's okay, LOL."
When in reality, the only reason it's okay is because the Red Sox are coming back.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if the game ends up tied, then David doesn't have to even watch the podcast, which we're doing right now.
So as we look into the 4-game streak of the Miami Marlins and Mets tonight, we go, of course, Mets are up 1-0 against Alcantara. That doofus, that Cy Young. Yeah, well, he's already given up a run, and Brandon Nimmo is the hero so far of the game with an RBI sacrifice fly.
Hey, take all those runs you can get, man. So
that's it. Take it as you can leave it. That's right. Hey, if we're up 1-0, it's top of the 4th already. We're halfway home, And Scherzer, he's on the mound today. Mad Max.
Yeah, hopefully.
You better be pitching the way you did last year. You didn't face the Marlins last year, but now you have an opportunity to do it today. And then we go up 3 games against the Brewers after this 4-game series. So by next week, we're looking at the preview of opening day on April 6th. So that should be fun. I don't know when April 6th is. I think that's
that's a week from yesterday.
Also, Connor Wong's pitching.
So a week from yesterday. Next Wednesday, we start that 3-game series. That'd be good. We'll see what happens.
Most of these games today have been quick too. The quickest game was the Cubs game, 2 hours and 21 minutes.
Yeah, it's got to be the pitch clock thing has been working out. All right. So you're done with your Mets news there, Jason, or do you?
Pretty much so. I'm going to keep giving you guys updates on the scores as we go along. So
Scherzer is looking good though through 4.
So thank you very much for the Mets news. Jesse Ortiz, since you came in next, what is up with your Houston Astros, the defending world champions?
Today, the Astros will play the Chicago White Sox at 6 p.m. Opening day will be a celebratory occasion for the Houston Astros, who are set to unveil their 2022 World Series banner prior to Thursday's game against the Chicago White Sox.
Oh, that Houston Astros and the White Sox. You're talking about a 2005 World Series rematch there.
Yeah.
And the only difference is at the time Houston was a National League team.
Yeah.
But since the move over to the American League, they've been running the gauntlet, so to speak. So.
Yeah. So the Astros will be without 3 of their key players today.
That's going to be
Michael Brantley is out until late April. Lance McCullers Jr. will return in April, and Jose Altuve, the thumb Altuve, that's what I call him, will be out until June.
That's going to be a rough start for Houston. Hopefully, Houston can hold it down. I know the West, and the West can be a very tough division there. With Anaheim, Los Angeles Angels, Anaheim up there. Seattle's been coming on strong. They came on strong last year, making the playoffs. Houston obviously is the defending World Series champs, so it will be a very interesting season for Houston. So hopefully they'll try to do without those 3 main men. So are you okay? Is there anything else on the Astros, or are you just?
Well, Megan the Stallion will be throwing out the first pitch, and Cody Johnson will be doing the national anthem.
Who's going to throw out the first pitch?
Megan the Stallion.
Megan the Stallion. Okay, that's
the rapper, the 6'5" linebacker of a rapper.
Yeah.
With more curves than Beyonce. I've been saying. I'll tell you what. That's going to be very interesting to see how she's going to throw her first pitch. Because sometimes some celebrities, I remember Curtis 50 Cent Jackson when he threw her first pitch from the Mets. That was crazy.
Vlad Guerrero hit that for a single, if I remember correctly.
That's funny. Anyways, so thank you for the news on the Houston Astros. Joey, my man, what's going on with Oakland?
So the A's have an injury report to report.
All right.
We have let's see, Paul Blackburn fingernail issue. It's as if your middle. It has something to do with the fingernail. I think they said it was an abrasive or something.
Wow.
He's on the 15-day. Kirby Snead with a shoulder surgery is out for 60. He's not supposed to return till May.
Oh boy.
Manny Pena, who just started out he was another part of that trade, a 3-team trade for Sean Murphy, where the A's got it. Manny Pena is the backup catcher, sprained wrist, out for 2 weeks, not ready for opening day. Will return, though, on the 11th at the earliest. We have Drew Resiniski, who came over from Japan. He pitched in the States, then came back.
Yeah.
He is out with a hamstring injury. He's out for 15 days. Freddie Tarnock, another young pitcher, is out with a strained shoulder. His is only the 15-day variety. He will be returning soon, possibly April 11th at the earliest. The A's have a matchup tonight at 7 o'clock with Kyle Muller, the key piece in the let's see, it wasn't the Olsen trade. It was another shot. I think it was either the Olsen trade or the Murphy trade. He's 6'7", 220. He's looking to be a big part of this rotation, but he's facing Shohei Ohtani. Another thing is the A's had no more options on Christian Pache, who was playing center field for him. Had a lot of defensive runs saved, just could not hit his weight, which is rather sad considering he weighs 170 pounds. He goes to the Phillies for, I don't even know, and I don't even give a damn what the name of the pitcher is. He's a double-A pitcher. They gave up another valuable prospect just because they ran out of options. The A's are really looking forward tonight for a 7:07 start. Hopefully, they have beaten Ohtani before, but the last time the A's beat Ohtani in Oakland, I remember, was, 2 years ago? I went to that game 2 years ago. So, yeah, no. That game, Ohtani went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. So, we'll see what happens. But, yeah, no, they're missing 3 key pieces, 2 bullpen arms, their backup catcher, and one of their starting arms of the rotation. They have 3 lefties in that rotation. I don't think the most experienced one is Kaprelian, who they got from the Yankees in the Dustin Fowler trade. The A's are looking at an uphill battle all the way through.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough year for Oakland because, and especially in that division, the AL West, you got Houston, you got Los Angeles Angels, you got Seattle coming on strong, and
It's going to be Seattle and Houston for the title. The A's are going to be fighting the Rangers for freaking last place again.
yeah, the Rangers. That's gonna be another. Yeah, Rangers and Oakland are probably the only two teams. Well, like I said, the three teams that in the West that see us, obviously Houston, Angels, because of the way Ohtani and Trout, you got those two guys, and then you got and then and like you mentioned, Seattle was coming on strong last year, making the playoff spot. So is that it for your beloved Oakland A's?
That's it for right now. I know the A's have their most expensive player is their shortstop right now. Yeah, $7.2 million for a shortstop.
Yeah, gone are the days of Canseco and McGuire, the Bash Brothers era back in the 80s, man.
Yeah, and the Needles are gone too. I think Canseco took his to Boston briefly at one point.
Yeah, I was really excited when Jose Canseco was traded to Boston. I'm like, what? He got traded to Boston? I was really excited. We get a couple of major prospects to get him, though. Well, so that was crazy to say the least. Yeah. All right, give me a second. I got to do the podcast here. Sorry, folks. That's my dad. Yeah. It's getting Canseco. I thought it was a huge deal with him and Mo Vaughn, like the left-right combo, but it didn't work out for the Red Sox back in '95 because we got swept out by Cleveland. So, we won. As Red Sox won the division. Okay, you got Mullins out. Thank God. But so anyways,
so next week as we go to episode 3, we should all have our scores for the next 2 series up until that Thursday.
Yeah, right now the Red Sox are down 10-7, top of the 9th, and oh boy, here we go again with Richmond. Yeah,
so I'll definitely have all the scores and highlights from the Marlins series and of course the Brewers series by the time we get back.
All right.
My Mets report. Right now, Mets are up 1-0, bottom of the 4th, and you can't do any better than that right now. So
okay, so
the Phillies are no-hitting the Rangers right now, so that's all you need to know in that division.
I tell you what, Rangers probably don't have much of an offense. Anyways, for that upcoming schedule for the Red Sox, you get 2 more games against the Orioles. I believe Sale will we have tomorrow. Red Sox have tomorrow off. So Saturday, April Fool's Day, will be the first game, 4:10. I got a lot to deal with that Saturday. I got NXT Stand Deliver, watch the Sox Orioles, and WrestleMania Night 1. You get April the 2nd, 1:35 p.m. start time. So that Saturday, Chris Sale's been pitching, so it's Sale Saturday. I think Pavetta's pitching this Sunday. And then the Pirates come to town for a 3-game series. And then we go on the road against the Tigers for a 3-game series and against the Rays for a 3-game series next week. No, 4-game series. And then we come back to Fenway, and Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout will be visiting Boston in 2 weeks again. And the Angels come to town. Twins are coming to town as well for a 3-game series.
Yeah, don't go too far out. Just go up until Thursday, April 6th. That's our next meeting of the minds, as they say.
Yeah, so we'll find out what's,
You go too far out, everybody's going to be like, what did he say? What? I didn't catch that. I didn't catch that.
So next meeting, like I said, Sox start the series on the road against Tigers. So right now, Sox will be going against the Orioles and the Pirates for the first homestand. First 5-game homestand. So,
and
that's a weird schedule, isn't it? The A's don't play tomorrow. The A's play on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah,
we don't play day off tomorrow. It's weird.
Yeah, the Red Sox got a day off tomorrow as well. So it's
why not just making it a 4-game opening series then?
Well, that's what we've got. We've got the Marlins at 6:40 tomorrow, then 4:10 on Saturday, and the 140 game on Sunday, and then we go right to Milwaukee for 210 on Monday, 7:40 at Tuesday, April 4th, and then the 140 game on Wednesday. And then right before we come on the air, the Mets and Marlins play opening day at 1:10 at Citi Field. So I will have the highlights to that game as well. So I've got 8 games to give to you next week, folks. So I'm going to be a busy bee right here in Florida, even from a New York perspective.
Yeah, you're by way. Jester, what about you, man? What's going on with the Houston Astros? What's their schedule?
They are going to be opening up against Chicago. And let's see.
I know they're playing Chicago.
Their schedule.
How many game series we're talking here?
We got tomorrow and the 1st. Let's see.
Yeah, so that's going to be.
Yeah, that's a 3-game series. No, 4-game series.
4-game series against Chicago?
And then, 4-game series.
And who you got afterwards by the time we come here next week?
We got Detroit. Yeah, we got Detroit for 3 games. Oh, sorry, my voice.
Yeah, my voice is giving out too. Joey, what you got for the Oakland Athletics upcoming season?
Okay, so the A's have a 3-game set against the Angels, and then they face the Guardians for 3. And then they go on the road, I think, for after that, and then they come back home and face the Mets the 14th through the 16th. And I think that, the 19th is the next time. No, it's the 6th and then the 13th. So the day before, because I'm not here next week because I got work, but I will have my stuff ready just in case.
Okay.
You might have to do like an autumn. You might have to do a pre-recorded thing before that, so that way you have it. Not knowing.
I'll see what I can. I'll see what I can do, and I'll send it to David.
Yeah.
We'll just put a robot in front of you and go. What am I doing?
Hey, I know my voice isn't that pretty, but okay.
You sound like Soundwave from Transformers. That would be really cool.
That's right, man. You could be Autobahns, man.
Autobahns.
I was gonna say the Autobahn. I think that's in Europe. You're just driving that stretch, and it's just like, why are you driving a Ferrari in California? And it's just like, well, Europe didn't like me there either, so I don't know.
So April, 3 to the 5th, we got the Pittsburgh Pirates, we got the Angels coming in. So we're starting, I think there's a couple of series, and we got a guy not related to Dave Bautista, Felix Bautista. I think he's going to be their new closer, I think. 15 out of 17 opportunities, 15 saves out of 17 opportunities. So they'll try to shut things down. So this is going to be very interesting. See what happens. Red Sox are down by Raymay Tapia had made the major league team, major league roster. Bobby Dahlbeck option to Worcester. So I'm kind of shocked because I thought Bobby Dahlbeck had a decent spring training. We'll see what happens.
I'd take Dahlbeck over Duran. Duran's that idiot who let that inside the park grand slam happen to Tapia last season at Fenway.
That's the ironic part too. Because now Tapia's on the Red Sox.
He put his hands up in the air. The ball's 3 feet behind him, and Tapia gets an inside the park grand slam. You don't see that happen very often.
I just want to point out Jaron Duran did not make the team, but probably will help him work on that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So on the night, so Tapia will try to do something here.
And we've got an update for you right now coming from the Lone Depot field. Still 1-0 now into the 4th as the Mets are going to bat in the top of the 5th.
Yeah.
Go orange and blue. Let's of course I'm wearing my Mets Rhodes colors right now.
Yeah. I got to tell you, this is going to be a very interesting season. This is the first game of the season. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. We know the Astros are the defending world champions. They're going to have a rough time without their 3 main key players, and so they're going to have to watch out for Anaheim and Seattle, or Los Angeles Angels and Anaheim and Seattle. Like the congratulations to Japan, they did win the WBC against the USA. What a way to end it, though. Otani versus Angels teammate Mike Trout, which was great to see. It was a great matchup. Yoshida was Masataka Yoshida. He'd rather be known as Masa Yoshida, and they already changed Yoshi out. So that's the. It was. I'll tell you what. It was a heck of a World Baseball Classic again. Congratulations to Japan. Japan worked very hard. They take, I think Gary mentioned that they take the sports very, very seriously, and they played and. But here's a guy with the weirdest name in Major League history, Nars Root Bar.
Nars Root Bar.
Sounds like a version of root beer.
Yeah, Root Bar. Lars. I think it's not Nars Root Bar. It's Lars Root Bar.
Lars Root Bar.
Yeah, he plays for St. Louis, but he played for Japan.
I think it's because one of his parents was originally from Japan.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing, man.
That reminds me of back in the days of NASCAR when there was two crazy names floating around the NASCAR circuit. You had Rich Bickle and Dick Trickle. Serious?
They were seriously doing that?
Seriously, Rich Bickle had his own team, and then you had the Heilig Myers 90 car driven by veteran, now probably dead, Dick Trickle. I'm serious. I'm serious. What names they came up with almost 30-some years ago. That's the legends of NASCAR.
Wow.
And he got away with it. Dick Trickle.
Some of the weirdest names ever. There was another one. He used to play for Oakland. I don't know if you remember him, Joey. I don't know if you can look him up. Kirk Dressendorfer.
Wow.
Oh God, that's one I do remember. He played in 91, I think, for him.
Yeah, 91. Yeah. I used to have
Dressendorfer.
I used to have Baseball America, and look at this! Nobody out. Runners are on. Here we go.
He pitched exactly one season in the big leagues. That's how bad his last name was too long. His big league stint was too short.
Yeah, and so his name was had to be abbreviated or something.
His name was Kirk Dressendorfer. No abbreviation.
Oh, okay.
His longest name, I think, in Major League history at the time.
No, the longest name was, I think, Van Landingham, and that's another name that's a real person's name.
Yeah,
because I used to have I think it was called Baseball's Top 10. It was from 2003 or 2004. Let's see, I think his name was William Van Landingham. If it's even in here, Van.
I remember that thing in that RBI Talking Baseball thing they had, with the, and the first time I heard Brett Saberhagen, I'm like, Saberhagen? Like, who the heck? And then we wound up with Brett Saberhagen.
Yeah. The Royals. I'll tell you, he was one of the young fireball pitchers that helped the Royals win the World Series.
He was one hell of a pitcher, but with a name like Saberhagen, it has to be good,
He did pitch the Red Sox. He did pitch the Red Sox one year.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that because it reminds me of that movie, The Scout, with Brendan Fraser in it. He played a guy named Steve Nebraska, and there's the scene where it's Keith Hernandez and Brett Saberhagen. He's just like, "Where's my money?" He says, "It's in the mail." And it's just like, and it's Albert Brooks playing the Scout, and he's just like, $9 million. He needs my money.
No, that's one of the things. Like after we give our content, we should come up with a funny of the week, or some kind of thing where we make fun of some specific thing. Last names,
Batting stances. Batting stances are fun.
Batting stances.
Julio Franco is one of the weirdest ones.
Yeah.
Craig Counsell, the manager for the Brewers.
Oh, that was another one. Kevin Youkilis.
But see, no one can compare with the Tuffle Shuffle. Tim Tuffle.
That's right, Tim Tuffle.
He gets up there and he starts shaking his bahuba.
Yeah.
What the heck kind of stance
Maybe
is
that
that?
guy from Major League. From Major League 2, Jack Parkman.
Jack Parkman.
He did a little shimmy there.
His little shuffle, it makes the women in Cleveland crazy, and then he goes to
He ain't gonna
Chicago.
get him. He
And
ain't
then
gonna
it's
get him.
oh man.
I'm telling you.
Another run
And
in.
then
Another run
there's
in.
always the guys who throw sidearm.
Yeah.
You know.
Chad Bradford. He played
Yeah.
briefly for the Mets. He played for the Red Sox, and he played for the Orioles and Chicago and the A's. He would literally. I tried doing that one time on grass. It was, on grass, and it's just like, how's your knuckles? And it's just like, I'm glad this isn't pavement. Because his knuckles would come so far to the ground. I forget which Japanese pitcher it was. He would deliver the ball. Byung-Hun Kim, but it wasn't him. He would slide his actual knee. He would wear a knee pad on his knee because he would make his knee bloody from actually having his knee drag across the ground on the mound.
He pitched in the major leagues. Could it be Hideki Arabu, the late great Hideki Arabu?
No, Arabu didn't throw like that.
Oh,
I think his name was Watanabe or something like that.
Oh, Watanabe?
Watanabe.
Yeah.
Watanabe.
I think that was him. He had a really dangerous sidearm submarine delivery, and I think he drug his knee. He had to wear a knee pad. So I get it. There's a commitment to the sport, but that hurts, man.
Well,
Yeah.
the one guy that I remember.
Quisenberry for the Royals.
Boysenberry?
Dan Quisenberry.
Quisenberry.
Yeah. Oh,
I remember.
Jose Valverde was another one. He had a weird pitch.
Who?
Jose Valverde.
Valverde?
Oh, that's right. Valverde pitched for the Reds. He didn't pitch for the Red Sox, but he pitched for the Mets, the Astros, the Diamondbacks, the Tigers. But yeah, no, he had a weird delivery.
Yeah.
It was always the larger pitchers that had those weird deliveries.
Exactly.
Especially
the only one that comes to mind as far as the sidearm throw for the Mets I can remember is Jeff Ennis. And
that's right.
He had that sidearm delivery, and he'd go in there, and I was like, "What the? Wait a minute, is that legal? That he can do that?"
Nomo?
Yeah.
God, if you ever want to crack your back, do the Hideo Nomo.
Yeah. You go up.
You know what's funny? A little story about that.
Oh no!
I went to back in 1995. I went to an amusement park in Warwick Island called Rocky Point with my church youth group. And when we tried to do the when they would the gallery, you try to throw a baseball, you try to hit the bottles and all that at the carnival. So what I did, I tried to do the Hideo Nomo thing, and I tried to go, winga. I was like, okay, missed it. So I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, we're talking about unique batting stances too. One unique batting stance come to mind. Oh crap.
No, it looks like Joey's ready for a pitching stance.
Jeff Bagwell was one.
Nomo especially was, if I remember correctly, he would start way up here.
Right. He does this.
And then he does this, and then he brings his knee into him, and then he would throw this fork ball where he just come like this, and then he'd throw like this. But that's the thing, especially with pitchers. Tim Lincecum, where he'd have his knee up to here, and then he'd extend his leg and everything. Pitching mechanics with pitchers especially was always why certain pitchers didn't last. No one still pitched, 15 years, but his arm was so damaged by that point. He was pitching for the Royals at that point after all that time. Because he pitched for a lot of teams, too. He did pitch for Boston. He threw a no-hitter in Baltimore, I think.
First start of the season for him. 2001, I remember. Adam Duvall. He's 10-9 now.
Yeah, no, it's this is going to be one of those games where Eric's going to be real excited before the episode ends. We got another 10 minutes.
You got another 10 minutes.
I know. We're gonna see Eric jump out of his chair.
I, being the bonehead that I was, forgot to press the record button.
Hey, this is better because if the Red Sox win, that means David's gonna see this episode when it airs, and he's gonna see you jump out of your chair and start celebrating.
Well, the problem is he's probably back on his way home because he realized at that point that they were losing so badly he thought there wasn't no way.
Oh my God, that would actually be even better.
Right? Because you know how players just like can't give it up. It's like, we've lost this game. No, don't leave. Don't leave.
Never leave a game early. Because one of the best comebacks I ever saw was when the A's were down 12-2 against Minnesota. That was 2009. I think Matt Holliday was on the team at that point. He doesn't like Oakland like most people didn't.
Yeah.
He hit a grand slam. The A's came back and won that game 13-12 on a play at the plate where the runner was safe. He was actually safe. The announcers for the A's were just like, yeah, he's safe. The umpire called him out. I forget who the manager was it was Gardenhire. Gardenhire was so pissed. He was arguing. I think it was Kadire, who also played for the Mets.
Yeah.
Because I can always track back to who played for the Mets and who didn't. Because for the most part, the A's don't trade with the Mets, but they have trade partners if they ever needed them. Yoenis Cespedes being one of them.
Yeah, right? Well, now, of course, that was 2009, but of course, the greatest comeback that I've seen in all of Mets of the 60 years that they've been there is that Philly. They were down 7-0, come back, win it 8-7. No, don't get your highs up, man. We were in the top of the ninth the whole game.
Exactly.
With those 7 to 8 runs to win that. And
that's my favorite saying in the world. It's just like, hey, we never doubted you for a second. We were behind you all the way.
And it happened in Philadelphia. It didn't happen in Citi Field. And all those Philly fans are all looking at themselves like, what in the world just happened? We had this game 7-1. 7-1, and we lose 8-7 on account of just beautiful hitting. And it all started with Lindor with that home run.
Yeah,
yep.
I gotta tell you. The Red Sox end up losing this game 10-9. So close. Yeah, and Duvall, who can hit home runs, we figured a 2-run shot wins the game, but ends up striking out in the bottom.
Well, let me put it to you this way: if that's the only game that the Orioles win, you're gonna have 1-in-161 for a record. The Orioles can't win the rest of the year if they win opening day. That would be freaking awesome.
Orioles have been a very tough team for the last couple of seasons. They've been
the nail in your thorn, basically. Eric.
They have been. Meaning we think.
Yeah.
We used to walk all over the Orioles in New Year's early.
Everybody used to walk over the Orioles. Now, all of a sudden, the Orioles are like, hey, we're not going to
Well, that's the number one thing, too, is they won 83 games last season. Adley Rutschman, Gunnar Henderson, and Cedric Mullins have truly pulled that team from the doldrums that they were.
Yeah,
that is incredible.
Of the last, 5-6 years, and finally last year they pulled out of that slump.
Yeah, that's what rebuilding can do instead of trading away all your players when you think they're not going to be good anymore. If I had a nickel for every time the A's have done that since I was born, I would have at least $100 just in a jar.
Sure,
they traded away so many good players. Speaking of trading away, I did my research on that Canseco trade. They didn't lose out on anything. They lost out on Otis Nixon for maybe 90 games and a guy with a negative 1.2 WAR for that Canseco trade for the Red Sox. The Red Sox didn't lose out on anything for that trade. They got 198 games worth of Jose Canseco. He hit 56 home runs in that 198 games he played for the Red Sox in a season, in 2 seasons.
Well, I'm talking about
they won that trade.
Yeah, they won the trade, but they lost in the playoffs against Cleveland. That's what I was trying to say. Because Cleveland was smart enough to shut down Canseco and Vaughn. You shut down those 2 guys, there goes the rest of the lineup. You know.
I think about it this way: Cleveland still hasn't won a title, so you're just fine.
Yeah, that's good. That's the only upside of the whole thing. Is that Cleveland did not win the World Series that year. They got lucky. And that would be, Atlanta finally win the World Series. So it's all an even Steven type of thing. Like I said, we ended up as the Sox ended up breaking the curse 2004. We're going back to batting stances and unique, because baseball is a very unique sport, and they have very unique players. They do a lot of things. I used to watch a video. I had a VHS called Baseball Funny Side Up, and it had, Tug McGraw, the late great Tug McGraw, God rest his soul. He was funny. They did, Casey at the bat, and he had, the hot foot pranks and all that. You see a lot of crazy things happening. I remember, was it one baseball batting stance, and I used to emulate this a lot because I'm a Red Sox fan. It's like we tried to emulate, because me and my friends back in the day, we played in my old neighborhood. We played baseball. We used to emulate a frame plays. And one of my friends was like Oakland. We thought Oakland's our main rivals was the Yankees, right? And so one of my friends did his impression of the late great David Henderson. We used to play for the Red Sox. Dave Henderson does something with a smile. He was like the pre-Michael Strahan of baseball.
Yeah, he had the little gap.
Yeah, a little gap. He's like, I'm like, oh my god. And we used to have a lot of fun with it. One person I loved emulating for the Red Sox. Remember Phil Plantier?
That's right. He had the extreme crouch.
Yeah,
he had
the
reverse extreme
crouch. He does that.
Careful, Eric. Careful, Eric. Do not fall.
Don't pull a muscle this early in the season, man. We don't need you on the NIL.
That was the thing, because besides Plantier, thankfully I still have an old wiffle ball bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, something safe where you're not going to break your lamp.
Yes. The lamp's right there.
I see that.
But, the one that I remember the most was it was besides Euclid, but it was Bagwell, because he would have him and Sosa almost had the same stance, but Bagwell would just do it low and slow, just low and slow.
Oh yeah, Jeff Bagwell, yes.
Bagwell. And he hit a lot.
And then he would do this, and then his leg would hit his chin, and then he would smack the ball. He hit 449 home runs like that.
Yeah.
No other person can have a stance that low and still hit home runs.
I have to say, one does come to mind as soon as he made that stance, and that was Wally Backman from the Mets in '86. He had a stance like that. He would come up, do like a golf swing, and then he would kind of like hang it a little bit on his side.
There was a couple of players on the Yankees who had unique batting stances. One would be
him and Lenny Dykstra were like the two.
Yeah. Oscar Azokar, he would do like the old Bagwell too. Bagwell, but he spreads his legs out a little bit more. That's what.
Mickey Rivers too. Oscar Gamble, those guys.
Oscar Gamble, the guy with a crazy afro. I remember that.
He had what Ortiz thought he had.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another guy from the Yankees, Kevin Moss.
Oh God, that's the guy who had like 10 home runs in like 7 games, and then he burned out after he left.
Kevin Moss. He had a little semi-crouch to what Phil Plantier had. But Phil Plantier was more lower than that. So I've always tried to back in the days to emulate those players. Just do different batting stances every single time.
And then you can't forget the catchers, the way they always had one leg off to the side and one leg.
Tony Pena.
Tony Pena's been known for that.
I can't like, how in the world is he stretching?
I think the guy who started
it's very easy. You just don't. Tony Pena weighed 195 pounds his entire career. He got on one knee and he would kick it out to the side and he would block balls right between where the 5-hole would be.
Yeah.
The most conscientious player when it came to a batting stance was Gary Sheffield. Because he played for the Mets. He'd have that timing mechanism, kind of like Joe Morgan when Joe Morgan batted left-handed, where he'd do the thing where he'd have the flap down. Because they were telling him separate your elbow from your side. And he would go, let me turn on the camera for this. But he'd go 1, 2, 3, and then he'd slap the ball. Because they were telling him that in Houston, 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. And then Sheffield would just go 1, 2, because he did that as a joke when he was at the Brewers. He did that as a joke when he was a young shortstop playing for Milwaukee.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember Gary Sheffield only played. Then I think, I lost my train of thought now because it was another player that I know. The pitch clock thing. It's a good thing. The pitch clock thing. It's a good thing Nomar Garcia Parra was not playing anymore.
No. Nomar, he had the batting gloves.
The test is my father gets annoyed every time when I watch Red Sox play, all right? And he'll sit down and watch one of the games with me. He gets annoyed because when he does this a lot with the gloves and all that, and does it with the gloves, my father calls them Manny gloves. My father got
Manny gloves.
I was cracking up. And I was like, now it's a good thing we had the pitch clock up because Nomar will be striking out without even swinging the bat for doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the only player I think who was worse was he was a manager for the Indians during that run where they were really good. Mike Hargrove, they called him the human rain delay, where he would adjust his glove, pull up his pant leg, pull on his batting glove, readjust his batting gloves after every pitch. He would literally not even make it to the plate. The umpire would say, pitch.
Yeah. So, all right. Okay, then. So now we're at the hour mark here. I think it's about time we get done here. The second episode of the Dugout Crew podcast. I want to thank Jason DeCanio, Joey Acacia, and Jesse Ortiz, a.k.a. Jester in Chains, for coming in. And David will be back next week. Sorry that he wasn't able to be here because he was at the game.
Yeah, he better hold those. He's probably going to shed a lot of tears next week at episode 3, considering.
No, listen, it was just the first game of the season when we're down. We lost by 1 run. We can still make a comeback on this. We can still get some gains. Season sucks.
Raindrops keep falling on my head.
All
that
right.
doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red.
Over and holy God.
All right. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you like this video, please press the subscribe button to subscribe to David's channel. Press the like button if you want to like it. Write a comment about any of the news that we're talking about today, anything that we talked about as far as baseball is concerned. You can subscribe to Jester in Change, Joey Acacia, and Jason DeCanio on the Queens New Yorker, and subscribe to me, Eric Lehman Shenanigans in 1977. Upcoming next, if you're a Rant and Rave podcast fan, Rant and Rave tonight at 8 on the Brandon Martin channel. He won't be on because he's calling a college baseball game, actually, a college softball game. So it'd be Jordy Scow, Michael Bombardier.
We got a score update before we go. 2-0 Mets.
Okay, very good, Mets.
All right.
The Red Sox lose 10-9 today. Mets are up 4-0. All right, and
it's 2-0.
2-0. I thought I heard he said 4.
No, 2-0.
Hey, you got to keep the positivity up. Make sure it's 4-0.
This was 4-0, but we got 2-0, and we're still batting in the top of the 6th. So
okay, that's good.
Yep.
So that is it. So thank you for tuning in to the Dugout Crew podcast, episode number 2. Check it out. So as we go, as we're saying so long, and I hope your life hits a home run for you. See ya. Goodbye.
Bye. All right.
So good.
Don't forget to subscribe to the David Dyson Network for great more content like this one.